Hey guys, how's it going? This is Silent117, and I just came back from college. Basically, we have colleges like regular. We have college schedules like regular schools, but sometimes, whatever. So I've been kind of noticing that we live in a world where people just hype up things way too soon and think nothing and say nothing is wrong with it, but when people criticize about that certain topic or anything like that, then people just, going out of their way to fucking hate you forever or whatever. And this is one of those topics I actually wanted to talk about, since I watched Kid Icarus actually talk about the Spyro trilogy that came out for PS4, the top 10 reasons why that are wrong with the Spyro trilogy, his opinion, something like that. But the fact is that this is basically a topic about criticism on itself, and it's not just about animation, it's about everything. When you criticize a certain topic, then people just hate you for whatever reason, and I feel like the more people criticize things that are like popular or something like that, people are missing the points about criticism on itself. And since the new She-Ra reboot that came out as well, I feel like the reboot creators just want to block out everything about everything about when people criticize about their show. They want to avoid criticism. It clearly shows that people don't want to see anything negative. We live in a world where everyone is just like, hey, My Little Pony. We live in a world where everything is just sunshine and fucking rainbows. And I'm sorry about making a My Little Pony comparison, but I feel like it's like a weird comparison, but whatever. But I feel like since like these golden age games with the whole, immersive storytelling, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or anything in the animation rebooted related, when people criticize those things, there are half a majority of people try to be professional, try to criticize their opinions about saying their own opinions about what they don't like about the game, try to point out the problems these shows, games, movies, whatever have, but there are some majority of people who criticize those things in like a very immature level. But I'm one of those people who is like in half and minority of that kind of thing. If you guys don't know, in my channel I have been doing a lot of Teen Titans Go Rant videos, but this time I've stopped doing them because I'm sick of talking about Teen Titans Go. But even though when I do Teen Titans Go Rant videos, I always try to point out the problems these shows have, why these shows are why that specific show is problematic. I even did a Thundercats Roar video, and I even did a rant video about the live action remakes or whatever, and whatnot. But I try also to talk about positive things like action cartoons, do some action cartoon reviews. I might think about doing Batman Beyond review, or just talk about the specific topic about how Batman Beyond is really dark, and I'm not even kidding, that show is actually dark, and I am, like I said, I am thinking to actually do that video someday in the future. But the criticism thing is just, it's kind of abysmal at this point. Like, I know, it's kind of, but we live in a world where people don't understand criticism as a whole. Like, they don't understand why we criticize those specific things, and and people just like brush off the things about what we don't like about the specific, genre or whatever, and it's like, sorry, it's winter is coming and my nose is closed a bit off, so it's kind of harder for me to breathe. But the criticism thing is that people just don't understand why we criticize these things. It's like people, every time when people try to criticize something that just came out or something, people just jump the shark. Those people who like defend these kind of things, like who are like these sucking the dick out of those things, like Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, the Red Dead Redemption 2 has some specific things that are wrong with the game, but is the people, modern gaming community who defend these games are like, how dare you criticize that thing? How dare you say bad things about the game? The game is perfect. You're just nostalgia blind. You're an idiot. You go kill yourself. Like, this is one of those problems I have with the fucking internet as a whole. Like, ever since the whole internet population, it's like people. It's like when we try to criticize things like video games, animation, movies, even music, it's like people, we live in a world where people are getting brainwashed by this whole society of Hollywood makers and modern day, you know, modern cartoons, stuff like that. It's like people don't understand why we criticize these things, why we make comparisons with the old stuff with the new ones. It's like people just try to brush it all off and feel like we're just nostalgia blind, we're idiots, we can't accept new things. It's like, and some of us, I know someone who does reviews for many different cartoons, even modern cartoons. Red Wolf is a really good friend of mine. Basically, I know, I've never actually met him in person, but I enjoy watching his videos because actually I try to listen to his points that he makes, and I actually fully agree with some of the points. Even less popular YouTubers, like even though he is a kind of popular YouTuber, but he's not as popular like compared to Markiplier or PewDiePie or whatever. Diamond Ball, they also made like why modern day cartoons are not as good as compared to the 90s or mid 2000s, and I agree solely what the points he makes. But we live in a world where we can't even barely criticize anything. Like, it's like people like I said, it's like people who criticize things, it's like they being hated by the people who try to defend things that are not supposed to be defended in a way. Like it's like a fucking cult or something. It's like it is real hard. It's a hard topic for me to talk about, especially now without taking a drink, because talking with the headphones is a bit jarring. Apologies, but criticism is still happening, and people can't just think, yeah, bad criticism is a thing. We need to just ignore it. Like, yeah, sometimes some bad criticism you should ignore, but not all of it. Like, there are some people who actually try to make really solid points, try to make out the problems some certain things have. Like, for example, when I did the Teen Titans Go Rant videos, I tried to point out why these shows are bad, why are, you know, why the show being aired all the time is a bad thing for Cartoon Network, and I try to my best to actually, you know, make a good perspective, try to make good points. And yeah, people love Teen Titans Go Rant videos, but I feel like it's kind of like a cheap way to actually get views, but you do you, I guess. But I'm so happy that people still support my channel and actually, you know, listen to my points. But with the whole criticism thing, it's like, it's hard to criticize things without getting bashed by people who defend certain things. Like, the whole new God of War thing, like this God of War on PS4, when the game came out for the PS4 system, people just went nuts with the game, just giving a 10 out of 10, saying it's perfect, it's emotional, it's cinematic, it's the best cinematic experience. Oh my god, the graphics, like And the problem with the modern gaming community, I feel like it's the fact that people are also looking at graphics rather than the actual game itself. Like, they don't care about gameplay anymore, and they care about graphics. And this is like my biggest issue with the modern gaming community as a whole. And when I try to say bad things about it, and when I feel like games nowadays don't feel like games anymore, and feel like they feel like simulators rather than games. People just just want to pick out pitchforks and torches and try to hunt you down and try to stab you to death. It's it's really hard to talk about this topic because, bad criticism does happen. You just can't ignore it. You need to, if there are professional critics that try to, criticize few things, point out the problems, those specific, genres, like book genres, gaming genres, animation genres, music genres, whatever, has problems, then you try to listen to those criticisms and try to improve your work. If you always ignore everything, if you always ignore all of the bad criticisms, then you never will improve. You won't ever improve your work. You always keep on rehashing the same shit over and over again. And the reason why I'm not too fond of the whole Disney live action remakes is because Disney is basically pretty much just killing 2D animation, and that is what I'm not too fond of. Treasure Planet, for example, is one of my absolute favorite Disney movies. Even the original Lion King is one of my favorite Disney animated 2D Disney movies. And even till this day, Lion King is considered one of the best animated movies, one of the best Disney movies of all time. And remaking it into live action is just pointless. It makes no sense. And the reason why and we all know why Disney is doing this, because we got to have money. Money is important, but that's not always the main focus. The new Star Wars movies always make big bucks, but the movies don't improve in quality. They just decrease in quality. And it is because they destroy what George Lucas and even Mark Hamill originally envisioned for Star Wars, and they just basically destroy everything what made the Star Wars, the Star Wars movies originally so great and memorable. Even though the remakes are bad, there are still some things that are actually good and original in those movies, even though there's still a lot of things bad about these movies, but it's not like they're not watchable. Another movie example is Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. Yes, it has a lot of problems, but it's not like it's not watchable. You can still rewatch that movie as many times as you want, because there are still things that are still very good. There are still things that they're still like in the Sam Raimi's vision of the Spider-Man universe. You still feel like you're watching Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, and the way people bash Spider-Man 3, I don't think that movie is that bad how people, criticizing it. Jesus Christ, guys, it's not that bad of a movie. If you want to talk about a really shitty Spider-Man movie, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is got you covered, guys. But still, it's like criticizing things is still going to happen, guys. It's not going away. We criticize things because we want to see things improve. If we don't criticize anything, then there's no future for improvement. There's no, good things happening in life, and we always just gonna repeat ourselves. There's nothing there's gonna be, original and interesting about these movies anymore. And movies, games, entertainment industry as a whole. Entertainment industry is a place we can escape from reality, but if we always gonna repeat the same mistakes over and over again and we won't come up with original and creative ideas, then there's no home for improvement, and people will always get suckered in by the same shit over and over again. Yes, you can reboot things, but try to reboot things that are bad, that are never good to begin with. Try to reboot that, then instead of rebooting something that was never broken to begin with. Huge examples of reboots that are unnecessary. Terminator, Alien movies, RoboCop, Teen Titans, Batman, a lot of Batman stuff, Superman, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, God of War, some of the Spider-Man games. There's so many reboots that I can't even count anymore, and a lot of them, and all the 2D animated Disney movies, those are not need to be rebooted because they are necessary to reboot. There's still, you need to understand the saying. What was once, you don't fix what that was never broke to begin with. If you just rehash the same shit over and over again, then there's no point of originality, there's no point of creativity anymore. We're just gonna rehash the same shit over and over again. On YouTube, I could see a lot of people who have creative, imaginative ideas, especially for animation. But the fact that we live in a world, especially where Disney ignore these people because they want to make these CGI rehashes and stuff like that in live action remakes, then it's like, what is the point then? What is the point of trying to create something creative and original? And that is the main problem, because if you always gonna keep on ignoring criticism, then I don't know what to say. I might even call you not a human being anymore, because we can't call ourselves as human beings if we always gonna ignore the bad, always 100% ignore the bad stuff in life. If we always ignore that, then we can never learn from our mistakes. And that is the point of bad criticism. You listen to those bad criticisms and try to improve your work. But the problem is, with the whole Hollywood thing, the people, these big celebrities being, corrupted by greed and power, it's like they don't care what we think. They always think of us like we're not as important because we don't have this sweet money to actually criticize things. And that is a lot of bullshit, if you ask me. And bad criticisms will always happen. You can't just ignore that shit. I know. What do you guys think about bad criticism? What do you think? How people do you agree that people missing the point of bad criticism, and do you agree with the points I made? Because I don't know how to feel about this, because it's madness. It's like people don't listen to criticisms anymore. It's like they don't give a shit about the points you try to make. They don't try to listen. It's like it's like they think bad critics just spewing bullshit. Yes, there are bad critics that spew bullshit, but there are also bad critics that make good points. They actually try to write scripts to make good points of these certain things. What do you guys think? Like this video if you actually agree with me, and share this video with others. to actually spread out this message, because it is insane that people don't understand bad criticism anymore, and we live in a world where people just don't try to improve themselves as human beings anymore. And I know, what do you guys think? Like and subscribe and whatever. This is Salmon with 7 signing off.